The O'Reilly Factor is on tonight.
Offshore drilling would not lower gas prices today.
The McCain campaign hits Barack Obama on the energy debacle.
Pure energy.
We'll show you the ad, and Laura Ingraham will analyze. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thank you for watching us tonight. Greed is not good. Gas prices are now crippling the economy. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Another terrible day on Wall Street. The Dow closed down 358 points, and most Americans are getting hurt badly. And most Americans are getting hurt, but not the oil company CEOs. Say hello to John Hess. He made $47 million last year. CEO of Chevron, David O'Reilly, doesn't look like me, pulled in $35 million. Ray Irani of Occidental, $55 million. And this year, Ray and his friends in the oil industry should make even more because profits are up way, way up. Now, I believe in capitalism. It offers the most people the most opportunity. Capitalism operates on competition. You succeed in a free marketplace, you can become wealthy. But sometimes the machine breaks down. Talking Points believes the growing greed in the oil industry has finally caught us and is greatly damaging America. No matter what the system, it can be abused. Teddy Roosevelt was a capitalist, but he attacked some large companies that were hurting the folks. He was nicknamed the Trust Buster. Now the huge oil price rise is causing chaos within the U.S. economy, and everybody's blaming everybody else. If you listen to the oil companies, it's the environmentalists. If you listen to the Greens, it's the oil companies. If you listen to OPEC, it's the speculators. And if you listen to the speculators, not their fault. They're just legitimate investors. But if you break it all down, ladies and gentlemen, if you throw the BS out the window, the fact is that oil companies are making more money than any other concern in the history of civilization. They have imposed real life on the movies.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed in all of its forms. Greed for life, for money, for love, knowledge, has marked the upward surge of mankind.
Now, do you feel an upward surge when you fill up your gas tank? The recession it's here, and it's driven by an irresponsible banking industry which peddled weak mortgages and an oil industry that exploits every opportunity to raise prices, and weak politicians who will not regulate even if national security is involved. It's not supply and demand when just 5 U.S. oil companies control product distribution and OPEC keeps the supply down in order to keep the world markets on edge. Remember, it cost Saudi Arabia less than $2 a barrel to bring oil to the market. That same barrel today cost $140. Question is, where will it end? How bad will things get economically? Nobody knows. What I do know is that the oil company CEOs are going to have another very good year. And that's a memo. Now for top story tonight, look at the shaky economy and the oil situation. With now Fox News business correspondent Terry Keenan. And in Pittsburgh, where she just interviewed Barack Obama on the economy, Alexis Glick. Alexis, what was the senator's main point that he wanted to get across? He did a number of economic interviews today. What's his main point?
Yeah, I mean, the main consensus that he's trying to get across, which is, of course, what you talked about at the very beginning, is he's not doing offshore drilling. He does not buy into that. What he buys into right now is that we have to get off of our dependence right now on foreign oil. He's talking about a goal of, by 2030, reducing our dependence to down to 35%. Right now, about 60 to 65% of the oil that comes into this country is imported. That's his big talking point. They're really talking about alternative fuels, R&D, research and development.
By 2030, is that what you said? By 2030, 22 years from now, he wants to get it down. I don't think anybody's going to have any money, Alexis. By 2030, nobody's going to have any money. We're all going to be in covered wagons and shooting stuff for our food. You know, that's nice. 22 years from now, Barack Obama's got a plan to get us off foreign oil. I mean, you know. That's
all right, but Bill, let's be realistic about this. Whether you look at Senator John McCain's plan or you look at Senator Barack Obama's solutions here, let's be fair about it. Neither one is offering you a solution tomorrow that is really going to decrease oil and gasoline prices. I mean, I hear what you're saying about the oil companies. Yes, they're making record money, they're making record profits, but there's a bigger blame game than just the oil companies. If we want to blame the oil companies, then should we be blaming the agriculture companies like Monsanto or Potash?
It depends. It depends what the competitive level is. Now, Keenan, look, stock market's almost down 400 points today.
Yeah.
I mean, the economy's in a recession. I don't care what anybody says. All right, it's in a recession. People are getting hurt. And oil's driving it. Is oil not driving it?
Oil is a contributing factor.
It's driving it. It's driving the train.
It's driving the train that's been a slow-motion train wreck, which started with the housing debacle and the credit crisis.
I agree.
Now,
but oil is now driving the economy down.
Coffin, yeah.
Are you a student of history?
I think so.
Do you know what happened in France when Louis XIV and Marie Antoinette were eating cake and everybody else was eating, you know, sewer rats?
Yeah.
Okay.
French Revolution.
Right. $55 million for an oil CEO. Okay, and folks are now getting... Now, look, the American people are not going to tolerate this. They're not going to tolerate it.
You know, I'm the first to say that CEO compensation for big CEOs in this country is out of control. I've written columns on it, but it is not going to cut the price of gasoline by one penny if these people do not get these.
It's the corruption level. It is the...
Well, their shareholders have approved this.
If you look at what Teddy Roosevelt faced, he faced the same kind of greed. These people are giving the middle digit to the folks. They don't have... The oil companies can help. They're not helping. They're basically saying, we're going to make as much as we can.
They don't set the price of oil. But don't you think if one oil company could cut prices by 10 cents and grab market share that they would?
I don't think so, because there's only 5 of them, and they collude. And I got 4 stations in my town.
Well, there's global companies. There's Lukoil. You know, there's all sorts of global companies as well.
So do you see any way out of this? I want to, you know.
Yeah, I do. Finding alternative sources of energy and drilling offshore. And I think, actually, you can turn this compensation thing around, and if you pay for the best and the brightest, the oil industry will actually start to attract the best students in this nation's universities, and maybe they'll find some new oil.
Is there any way you can stop this bleeding now?
You know, I hate to say, I think it's something that time is going to have to cure.
So we're going to have
be painful. It is painful, and I'm not disputing
Alexis,
that at all.
do you see any? I can't call you Glick because you're not here, and I've known Keenan much longer than you. Do you see any way out of this recession? Do you see any way out of here?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is not going to recover easily, but there are some things that we need to look at. We got to look at the glasses half full here, too. You know, we just recently saw some serious housing data, something called the Case-Shiller Home Index, which saw an increase in the value of prices in 8 cities. They measure as many 20 cities just the other day. So we're starting to places, at least in the housing market, where we're starting to find a bottom. That is crucial to turning this economy around. Don't forget, Bill, look at this right behind me here, right? We got this sculpture here. It's an uphill battle, but the only way we're going to get ourselves off of the dependency of credit and these exorbitant mortgages is if we take the pain right now and we realize that leveraging ourselves like this was a bad mistake to start with. So we got to deal with that issue first. Once we deal with that, we can get a better dollar.
But here's the depressing part. The folks didn't leverage anything. The folks didn't give bad mortgages, and the folks aren't the greed heads in the oil industry, and we're the ones getting hammered. Ladies, thanks very much.